Very much, Sam Wildman. There are miracles, and we have to always think about the miracles in our lives. And I think a lot of miracles have been happening over the past 3 years because we saw so much of what happened during the COVID pandemic. And we saw how people could help one another out even when they were in their own homes. We saw how people helped one another out as we moved back into the world. And you can see how we're still doing that today. There are miracles upon miracles in our lives each and every day, and those miracles occur because we reach out to one another, because we help one another, because we care about one another. So if you want to make miracles occur on this earth, in this city, in this community, all it takes is for you to take action. So tonight, though, we're going to have 200 people by the time the evening's over. We're not there yet, but we've had about 200 people RSVP for dinner. So I want to give you guys all first dibs to dinner. So you all have permission right now to cut to the front of the line. And anyone who's late, we're going to start putting a little red X on their forehead. So I would like everyone right now to turn to one another and say Shabbat Shalom. And now I'd like everyone to turn towards our cameras and say Shabbat Shalom to Zoomland. Shabbat Shalom. And now I'm going to turn it over to our music director, cantorial soloist Joel Stein. That's a lot to say. Music director, cantorial soloist Joel Stein, and our amazing band Coldplay.
With us. E-O,
Yo,
E-O, E-O, O-O, E-O, 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 O-O, הנה מה טוב ומעניים שבת אחים גם יחד. Credit for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. הנה מה טוב ומעניים שבת אחים גם יחד. Get it, brothers and sisters, hang out on this day. E-O, 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 O-O, yeah, E-O, 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 O-O, הנה מה טוב שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה טוב ומעניים שבת אחים גם יחד. E-O, 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 O-O, E-O, E-O, E-O,
And now for a rhetorical question, because I know everyone's going to want to answer it. What is Hanukkah? I'm not looking for a response. Hanukkah, it's a tough question, believe it or not. And if I did actually ask all of you, we would probably get 20 different answers. Because depending on how much you've studied about this holiday, well, you have a different perspective. And if you'd like to learn a lot of those perspectives, come to my Torah study class on Monday, because I will be talking about that for at least part of the class, but not tonight. But when we think about what is Hanukkah, I always go back to the date 168 BCE, because that's the year that Greek soldiers demanded, that everyone who lived in the land of Israel bow down to local magistrates, to local leaders. And they wanted them to bow down to show that they, would be willing to follow the Greek-Assyrian lifestyle. And many Jews did just that because it's a lot easier than doing what they had been doing. It was a lot better than what they had been doing. But we had one man that refused. Who knows that one man's name? I'll give you a hint. It starts with an M. Mattathias, thank you very much. Who said Mordecai over here? One of our religious school teachers. Thank you. Mattathias watched this magistrate who was being carried by soldiers come down a street. And he saw all of these Jews starting to bow down. And he thought to himself, how can I bow? What kind of example is that for my family, for my sons, for my community? And he pulled out his sword and he shouted out the famous words, whoever is for religious freedom, follow me. And he took a group of Jews up into the mountains where they waged a 3-year guerrilla war. His son was Judah the Maccabee, because Mattathias soon died after moving everyone up to the mountains. But Judah, under Judah's leadership, by 165 BCE, we had regained the control of our temple. And we rebuilt it and we re-sanctified it. And that's why we light these candles, to remind us of that re-sanctification. And so we always have to think about what defines us. Because Mattathias, what defined him was not giving up his Judaism, was not bending to the will of others, was standing up and saying, this is what I believe. And so every Hanukkah, we should think about that question. What do you believe? Why do you believe it? How can you stand up and show this belief in front of your community? And now I'm going to turn it over to Joel because he's going to explain the next song, I believe. Joel, please.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. You have a song sheet here that you hopefully got when you came in. And on this sheet is a song called Ocho Candelicas, which is in a very ancient form of Spanish that the Jews used to speak when they were in Spain. And some Jews today still speak because there were many, many Jews in Spain until 1492, and then they were kicked out, unfortunately, and went to all parts of the world. But people still speak this ancient form of Spanish that has some Hebrew in it. So this song sounds like Spanish, but it's a little bit different. You'll notice when we start counting. If you know it, I hope you'll sing along, and if you don't know it, you'll pick it up very quickly. This is Ocho Candelicas, and please sing with us.
Está aquí, 8 candelas para mí. Chanukah linda está aquí, 8 candelas para mí. Oh, una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí. Chanukah linda está aquí, 8 candelas para mí. Chanukah linda está aquí, 8 candelas para mí. Everybody, oh, let me hear you count. Una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí.
Very nice. Very good job.
Now it's time to light our Hanukkah menorahs, our Hanukkiyot. If you brought one tonight, please approach the table. We're going to have the families light one candle. So it is not the first night until Sunday night. So if you count properly, we're on the -2 night of Hanukkah. But I'm going to light 8 Hanukkah candles. I'm going to ask everyone else to light 1 Hanukkah candle. We might have to double and triple up. Put out your Hanukkah candles. We want to stop any potential fires by doing fewer candles than normal. Yes. As we put in our candles, we put them in Hebrew reading from right to left, and then we light them left to right. Right to left, that's how we put them in. First night, second night, third night, fourth night. But then we light each night from the newest night. So they go in right to left, we light them left to right. And the idea, as Rabbi Hillel taught us, is that each day of the holiday increases in holiness and increases in joy. So as we light an additional candle each and every night, we are increasing the joy of the holiday. I'd like everyone to light. You guys have matches? Yeah, let's all start to light our shamash, our helper candle. And as we light our shamash, and be very careful with kids, is what I'm going to remind everybody. Does everyone have their shamash lit yet? So why don't we help other people light their shamashes? Shamashim is the proper term. We're going to back away from the table once we light and come sort of next to me so the whole community can see the candles lit. Traditionally, you light the shamash and say the prayers. My personal custom is to light them all so we can look at the beauty of the candles as the prayer is said. So we're going to begin lighting our candles left to right. And as we do so, Joel is going to begin leading us in the first of three prayers. The first prayer is the blessing over the candles. The second prayer is the blessing over the miracle. And the third prayer is the Shechianu, the prayer that we say whenever something joyous occurs. And then once you light, come stand to my left and right so everyone can see the candles. Joel, I'm turning it over to you now.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asa nisim lavoteinu Bayamim ahem Bahazman hazeh Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
I want to say thank you to everyone who brought their Chanukah. We have determined, though, the next year we're going to do this, and we're also going to do an ugly sweater competition, so that way everyone can participate in the way they so choose. We turn to page 138 for Lachadodi. Who can tell me what are some of the foods we eat on Hanukkah? Latkes, I hear. What else? Donuts. Right, we eat donuts, correct? Shh. What are the first two letters of donuts? D and O. What are the first two words of Dodi? D and O. This comes from an ancient rabbinic text called the Meshugana Bible Commentary. So, Lachadodi means come, my beloved. But we know that that D-O is shared with the word donuts. So really what it means is, I can't wait for the donuts to come. And so as we sing Lachadodi, let us imagine those donuts coming to us and then filling our bellies. Those donuts that are always jelly-filled, because that's what we eat on Hanukkah. Lachado D, page 138. We'll be doing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, rising on that last verse, facing the back door, and welcoming the Sabbath bride.
1, 2, 3. לחתותי לי ככלה יללה 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 בשבת לקבלה לחתותי לי ככלה יללה 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 בשבת לקבלה שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המאוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושם ותפארת ולתהילה לחתותי לי ככלה יללה 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 בשבת מקבלה לחתותי לי ככלה יללה 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 בשבת מקבלה לקראת שבת לכוונך כי מקור הברכה בראש מקדם מסוכן סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לחתותי לי ככלה יללה 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 בשבת מקבלה לחתותי לי ככלה יללה 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 בשבת מקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי בעורק ומיורי אורי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לחתותי לי ככלה יללה 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 בשבת מקבלה לחתותי לי ככלה יללה 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 בשבת מקבלה.
Let's rise and face the back door.
בואי ושלום הצוות בעלה גם בשמחה ובצוהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לחתותי לי ככלה יללה 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 בשבת מקבלה לחתותי לי ככלה יללה 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 בשבת מקבלה.
You may be seated. I'd like to ask any of our sponsors or our supporters to please come forward. That includes Roma Roth and Chris Perry, Allison and Michael Lauterstein, Sherry Mata and Arthur Binder, Jessica and Rob De Roca, Danielle Cohen, Norm and Esther Utan, and Andrew and Alana Shower. I know a number of people are out of town who are sponsoring, but if you're any of those people, you can bring family up too. So please come forward to help us light our Shabbat candles right over here. Come on forward. So as we light these Shabbat candles, that Sabbath bride to whom we were just singing is entering our lives. She enters our lives by passing through the gateway of those two candles. And of course, this Shabbat, she is also carrying a box of donuts for us. So let us light our Shabbat candles, and we're taught to light them after we light our Hanukkah candles. If someone needs to be brave and to light them, they're right there. Lit. I'm going to ask Joel to lead us in the candle blessing. Here we go.
la 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 la, ya 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 la ya la la.
Let us reach towards the candles and pull in 3 times. Once for Shabbat love, once for Shabbat rest, and once for Shabbat treats. Here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav V'tzivanu lehadlik ner V'tzivanu lehadlik ner V'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat.
Thank you all for your support and for lighting our candles. You can return to your seats. So we're going to take a few moments because Hallie, who is our experiential education coordinator, is going to be a lifetime member of our congregation and involved here, but she is moving on to some other professional endeavors. She will still be teaching on Sunday mornings in our religious school, but we wanted to show our appreciation for everything she has done for our community and for our children. So before she's even allowed to come up, though, I'm first going to ask Shira Sherb, one of our board members, our board member in charge of education, to come forward to speak a little for a moment.
Shabbat Shalom and happy. Good? Oh, too loud. Sorry. Happy Hanukkah, almost, and Shabbat Shalom to you all. I'm Shira. I am the religious school trustee, so education's kind of my beat here. And Hallie's beat has been experiential education. I read somewhere once, I cannot remember what very wise person said this, but the saying was that learning doesn't happen just from having an experience, but from making meaning from that experience. And I can tell you that that's what Hallie guided us through on the amazing field trips that she organized, on the sleepovers that she did with the kids, the kiddie events, and as a teacher, I'm a mom here too, and both of my kids have been in Hallie's class. And Hallie has really tried so hard and done so much to connect with our kids. Both of my children are so sad to see you go, Hallie. So I think all of us have benefited from your energy, from your kindness, and from your hard work. We will really miss you.
And now the other 2 parts of our religious school team, Amy and Samantha, are going to come forward. And I'm going to ask Hallie to come forward at this time also.
Hallie, over the last year and a half that you've been part of this team, it's been wonderful to watch you grow. When Hallie first started here, she was very green to being a full-time educator, and it was wonderful to take her from never being full-time at a synagogue to watching her grow into where she is now, which has been a wonderful journey, and it was so nice to be working with you as a team together.
Hallie, my partner in crime, the person who is teaching me how to do my job, and the person who is going to be sticking around to help me do it. No pressure. It's really been a pleasure working with you. I'm glad this is not goodbye. I'm glad we're going to see your beautiful face every Sunday and on other occasions too. And in the meantime, I know there's a big world out there that you need to explore, and we're glad you're going to do it. And we thought that you can't leave us, even if you're only partially leaving us, without something special. And if you want, it's not completely wrapped, so you could show it to everybody if you want. You could. Don't you all want to know what it is? Of course you do. Okay, it's a box. It's a box. Okay, I'll hold on to these while you take that out. Okay, so, I'll hold it up so everybody can see. So, it's a pomegranate candle holder to remind her of Israel, Judaism, and the light that she brings into our lives and the light that you all have brought into hers. Oh, yeah, don't talk. What am I thinking? It's your turn.
I wrote a little something. Well, first, I just want to thank everybody for welcoming me into this wonderful community that we have here. It's been really so great getting to know everybody and watching my students grow and learn. I hope that my students have learned from me, but I know that I have truly learned from my students and from my experience here. I want my students to know that I'll always be here for you. I'm just a phone call away. And while I won't be working in a full-time capacity, I look forward to continuing to be part of this welcoming, inclusive, and loving community. So thank you.
Don't go anywhere.
Here. Any of our religious school students, I want you to come forward right now. If you're a religious school student, come on forward. I know there are a lot of you in here. Come on forward. Come up on the stage. You can surround Hallie for a moment. We're all going to bless her right now. Okay, everyone's got to watch me, though. You're all going to do this with your fingers if you can you? That's what the priests of the old days used to do. Hallie, come forward. Okay, we're all going to do this like this. Can we do that? As best we can. Then put your hands like that then if you can't do that. Okay. Yeah, everyone's going to have a hard time with this. We'll see who can do it. This side, you guys can pretty much have it. This is what we do when we bless somebody. So we're all going to bless Hallie for all that she's given us. Okay? So I'm going to say the Hebrew, and then I'm going to help you guys say the English. Yivarechacha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'yihuneka. Yisad Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Now you guys repeat after me. May God bless you and keep you. May the light of God always shine upon you. And may the light inside of your heart continue to teach others. And together we say, Amen. And then you can all give her a hug right now if you want. And this concludes, so you guys can go back to your seats. And Hallie, I just want to say, oh wait, there's one more thing we're waiting for. So Hallie, I just want to say thank you for all that you've done for us. You have been an inspiring leader, and your management skills are unbelievable. And she's amazing at details. If you want to have an answer to a detail, she always has it. Huh? Here. And I'm waiting for one more thing. Flying in right now, I'll describe it, is a giant card filled out by all of your students and I think most of the staff. And it was upstairs and they went to get it and it's not here yet. So I just want to say thank you, and it's coming in just a minute. All right? Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, now we have to do some prayer. So I want everyone to stand up. Oh, here's the card. It just made it. We're going to face the ark for the Baruch. The Baruch is the call to worship. Here we go.
1, 2, 3. La 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 la
Lai la 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 lai. Lai la la lai lai. Lai la la lai lai. Lai la 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 lai. Lai la la lai lai. Lai la la lai lai. Lai la la lai la lai. Lai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach, Le'olam va'ed.
Let's take one hand and cover our eyes for the Shema. Let's take a deep breath in and out. On this breath, feel the connection you have with this entire community. Deep breath in and out. And on this breath in, feel the relaxation that comes each Shabbat. Deep breath in and out. The Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed.
You may be seated. We turn to page 154 for the V'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meotecha והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בעם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We turn to page 300 and, I think I have the wrong page number, 158, 158 for the Micha Mocha. And the Micha Mocha speaks of miracles, because what happened at that Sea of Reeds? A true miracle. Those seas parted, the land was dry, and we crossed over, finally escaping slavery. So I want everyone to take a moment. Take a moment and think about a miracle in your life. Think about what is special. Could it be a grandchild you love to hug? Could it be, well, the person you're sitting next to? Could it be something that happened at work or just amongst family or friends? What is your miracle? Take a moment. Think about it. And then as we sing Micha Mocha about miracles, I want you to place that miracle in your heart so it is in your heart as you're singing about the idea of ness, of great miracles. Here we go. Micha mocha.
1, 2, 3.
Lai 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 la 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 lai la lai 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 ya la lai la lai lai la lai lai ya lai la la lai la lai lai ya la lai la lai mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osef eleh nora tehilot osef eleh מלכותך ובניך בוקע הים לפני משה זה אלינו ואמרו זה אלינו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד כמוך באלים אדוני, כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. יאי לי לי, לי 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 לי, יא לי 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 לי, יא לי 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 לי, יא לי 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 לי, לי לי לי. Yeah, lie, 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 lie.
We turn to page 371 for the Misha Berach. We say the Misha Berach for those who are ill of mind, body, spirit, and we also say it for caregivers, those who are putting out that energy to show that they love so many people who need assistance. So on our Misha Berach list, Wayne Shaw, Ronnie Rothstein, Debbie Schwartz, Dina Leiker, Alex Avlas, Joan Sietzma, Michael Ray, Joseph Ray, David Berger, Gloria Katzman, Abby Rapport, Sandy Glauber, Renee Ross, Joyce Rubel, Ron Jacobs, Joyce Stern, Mark Jeff Stickler, Eric Waka, Edelson, Leanne Rosenberg, Jeffrey Albaum, Janet Blake, Pam Branner, Lynn Newman, Emily Zastro, Mark Mann, and Gail Benzaquin. We also think of those suffering in the Ukraine, those injured due to border challenges, those healing from all too frequent gun violence, those affected by terrorist attacks, and those affected by environmental challenges. If you have an additional name for our Misha Berach list, please share it with me now. Misha Berach Avatenu V'imatenu. May the God of our ancestors grant our Refuah Shlema, a complete and full healing to all those named this evening, and to all those we hold in our hearts. And together we say, Amen. The singing of Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor Abraha Vimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Me שברך אמותינו מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We turn to page 164 for the Amidah, the standing prayer. I ask you to rise if you are able. We face the ark and we say the prayer that reminds us to thank God, to thank, the holiness that surrounds us for in each and every moment we have, especially the moments where we can reach out and give care and love to others. The Amidah, page 164.
Adonai, שפתי תפתח ופיה כי תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע. מושיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לישני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue silently through page 180. When you're done with your silent prayer, you may be seated.
לרצון עם רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון עם רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי רצון עם רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון עם רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, וגואלי Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, וגואלי
So I want to share a Hanukkah miracle from 1980. And it comes from a news story from the LA Times. And as we all know, the Hanukkah menorah, is a symbol of Hanukkah and of Jewish resistance and of Jewish survival. Our texts, as you all know, go on and on and on about the proper lighting of candles. We just did a study session on Monday led by one of our congregants discussing all the different ways you light a menorah and what the right way is. But we go back to 1980. There's a gentleman named Mike Goldberg, and he had a Hanukkah, but it wasn't a normal Hanukkah because it was 400 years old. And 2 weeks before Hanukkah, back in 1980, he took it out of his bank vault. I think a lot of us still have bank vaults, don't we? That hasn't gone away like phone calls because they've been taken away by texting. He went to his bank vault, and he took it out to get it ready for Hanukkah. His wife, Ellen, she was a religious school teacher. So she decided to take that menorah to her class and to show it to them. So she took it and she wrapped it in newspaper and she put it into a brown paper bag and she took it to the class and talked to her students about history. She talked to her students about where this came from, what it means. And then afterwards, she wrapped it back in the paper, she put it back in the bag, and she took it home. A few days later, while the family was watching Charlie's Angels, who remembers that show? I'm not talking about the movie, I'm talking about the show. All right? And she must have been bored with the plot because according to this news story, she decided to polish the Chanukiah. And she went looking for it. And guess what? She couldn't find it. And she was in a panic because she knew it was a prized family heirloom. She knew it was 400 years old. And she went to her husband and she said, I think I threw it away. And he said, okay, that means we've got to go to the local city dump. Have you ever gone to a dump before and walked around? A couple people have. Okay, that's good to see. Well, that's what they did. She thought he was joking, but he wasn't. But before he even did that, he called the West LA Refuse Collection and Disposal Division. It was a Monday morning. And he said, hey, I need to figure out where this is. And they all laughed at him. Nobody would take him seriously. So he came up with this idea. He was going to start calling back every few minutes with a different Jewish name. And so he called and said, I'd like to talk to Mr. Goldberg. No, Mr. Goldberg, he'd hang up. I'd like to talk to Mr. Cohen. Nope. Mr. Schwartz. Nope. He just kept coming up with Jewish names in the hopes that somebody Jewish worked at the sanitation department who could actually help him. And finally, he asked for a Mr. Ackerman, and someone said, well, we have a Miss Evelyn Ackerman. And he said, oh, yes, that's what I meant. May I please speak with her? She was a clerk there, and she was Jewish, and she understood his desire to find the menorah. So she went to her supervisor, who said, well, guess what? Because last week was Thanksgiving, the trash, we know actually where his trash sort of is. Because the truck 848, literally the truck number, had been collecting trash and it had not yet been dumped. But it would be within 1 hour at the Sepulveda landfill. So Mike rushes out there along, I guess Mike alone, because later on it says his wife wasn't there. He beat the dump truck to the landfill, and the drivers dumped out a full truck full worth of trash. That's a lot of trash. It's not easy to find anything in a giant truck full of trash. And so he didn't know what to do. He started to go through it, but he realized, he didn't realize, he thought to himself, if only I had a shovel. And guess what he saw there? A shovel someone had thrown out. So he takes the shovel and he starts digging through things. And he digs and he digs and he digs. And all these people who work there are looking at him like he's a total madman, when suddenly, what does he see? He sees a bag, he rips it open, and there is his Chanukah. At this moment, he reeks of trash, old food. He is covered in whatever you're covered in if you've been ripping through things at the dump. But his Chanukah, he found it. And he went home and said to his wife, I found it. He called Evelyn Ackerman, his new Jewish friend at the sanitation department, and he thanked her and her boss. And one night later, his family stood around the Chanukah and invited in the holiday of Hanukkah. But before they lit that first candle, they reviewed all that had to happen, all the miracles. An accidental trashing of the menorah, trash pickup delayed a single day due to Thanksgiving, the truck that had picked up their trash still not having dumped its cargo, somewhat helpful city employees, an old shovel, and finally that miracle of finding the Chanukah. A miracle against all odds, a miracle because one person would not give up his quest. So my blessing for all of you tonight, may you remember to stand up for the causes in which you believe. May you remember to take the idea of Hanukkah, which literally means rededication, to place your heart in a situation where you can take action. And may you remember that miracles happen because of the effort we put into them, not because of wishful thinking. And finally, let us remember that God is found in those actions we take. May we all take actions to better this world, thereby creating miracles each and every day. And together we say, and now for the best part of the service, I'd like all the religious school students to come forward and stand in our yellow line. They're going to do 2 Hanukkah songs for us. If you need a song sheet, I believe we have some. Yes. Oh, they even have big letters and big words. They have like the cards. That's amazing. Come on the yellow line and stand next to one another on the yellow line. Wrap it around as much as you can. And if you get over this way, if you want to, you can even double up over here. Come over here. You can be over here. Come over here, guys. We don't want everybody all the way over there. Come over here. We're going to double up a little bit. Double up a little bit. Great. Can I put you over here? Put you over there a little bit. Put you over there a little bit. Hey, man, what's going on? Come on. And you guys can line up straight in here. Stop right here. Turn. Turn, turn, turn. You're going to go over there. Can you go down there? And face that way. All right. And now I'm going to turn it over to our teachers and to Joel. Here we go.
Let's have a party, we'll all dance the whole night. One more time, everybody. Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party along against the horror. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. C'est vivant to play with. While candles are burning low, one for each night, the shadows we met to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, the shadows we let to remind us of days long ago.
And now, one more song, I believe, correct? What song are we doing now, Joel?
C'est vivant, sauf, sauf, sauf.
What does that mean?
No idea. No, I'm just kidding. It means, c'est vivant is like a dreidel. It's the same, it's the Hebrew word for dreidel. And sauf, sauf, sauf means to spin. So if you're in your seat out there, you can stand up and try spinning in place. If you feel called to do that. C'est vivant, sauf, sauf, sauf. Chanukah, Buchag Tov. Chanukah, Buchag Tov. C'est vivant, sauf, sauf, sauf. Chag Simcha, La'ah. Nes Gadol Haya Sham. Nes Gadol Haya Sham. Chag Simcha Hu. Again. C'est vivant, sauf, sauf, sauf. Chanukah, Buchag Tov. Chanukah, Buchag Tov, c'est vivant, sauf, sauf, sauf. Chag Simcha, Ula'am, Nes Gadol Haya Sham, Nes Gadol Haya Sham, Chag Simcha, Ula'am.
One last round of applause because our students are going to go back to their seats. What you all could not see was watching, I can only see Samantha moving those sheets and like trying to give them the cue sheets. Samantha was like going so fast, it was unbelievable. Oh wait, this page, this page, this page. I did not see this side, but Samantha, that was a great effort. And Joe, you were on the other side of this? Good job, thank you. And then we have another song now, don't we?
We do. We'd like everyone to sing this one with us. On your sheet, you should see Mao's Tzur. And I imagine many of you have heard this before. And if you don't, just hum along or sing along, clap your hands. Please join us. 1, 2, 3, and... Tzur Yeshuati Lechana Leshabeach Tikon Betefilati B'sham Tota Mezabeach V'tachin Madbeach Mitzar Hamnabeach Azegmor b'shir mizmor Chanukah hamizbeach Azegmor b'shir mizmor Chanukah hamizbeach.
And now for the most important part of every religious service. What is that? Announcements. You are all correct. Karen Nyberg, our secretary of the board. She's coming with her own mic tonight.
I didn't have to travel far tonight. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Rabbi John, to our music director, cantorial soloist, Joel Stein, and Coldplay. It is really an honor to be able to play with this uber talented group of men. So thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to our religious school students for such a fun service. You sang beautifully. Also, thanks to Dave and Lindsay back there for making sure everyone sounded great, and for streaming so that all those that cannot attend are able to view online. We thank our Hanukkah community event sponsors who have helped offset our costs tonight so we can all enjoy a wonderful celebration. The sponsors tonight, again, are Roma Roth and Chris Perry, Allison and Michael Lauderstein, and Sherry Mata and Arthur Binder, and our supporters, Jessica and Rob DeRocha, Danielle Cohen, Norman Esther Utan, and Andrew and Alana Shower. Thank you to everyone who donated a toy for the West Valley Food Pantry Toy Drive. For those that received a raffle ticket, we will be pulling the winning raffle ticket for a $50 Target gift card during our festivities later. We also have a representative from Gift of Life tonight. You can help save a life by offering a quick swab of your cheek to help cure blood cancer. And now for a few announcements, as if those weren't. Next week, we will host a Chinese food proneg at 6 o'clock, followed by Shabbat services at 6:30. Please join us. Our Shabbat services on December 30th and January 6th will be on Zoom only. Please join us on Zoom at 6:30 for each of those Shabbats. And for some save the dates, poker is on a Saturday night this year, so bring your better halves and enjoy the night, Saturday, February 4th. Our annual gala will be held on May 20th, honoring our beloved Rabbi John and Lisa Hanish. Woo woo. Please visit our website for more information on all events. Our tzedakah this evening is going directly to our tzedakah teens. There is a QR code, There's a QR code right on your Shalom sheet for direct giving. Thank you for joining us this evening. I look forward to visiting with everyone at our celebration. Shabbat Shalom and a happy early Chanukah.
And now we have some reps from our tzedakah teens program who are going to come forward because they have a quick announcement, I believe. One or more representatives. Danielle Deculus, come on down. There's a microphone for you right there. Let me see if it's on.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My name is Danielle Deculus, and I'm speaking on behalf of the tzedakah Teens 2022 to 2023 board. Our goal this year is to raise a minimum of $2,000 in support of mitigating gun violence in our country. We want schools to feel like a safe space again for students, teachers, and staff, and children should not have to fear for their safety when they should be focusing on learning and being with their friends. That's why the tzedakah Teens Board is focusing on raising money this year to support enacting stricter gun laws so we can protect our fellow peers. Please donate generously to the tzedakah Teens through the tzedakah box tonight, buying our gift baskets tonight, and donating online. No amount is too big or too small. Help us, through tzedakah Teens Board, create a safer community for everyone. Thank you.
If you're not familiar with the tzedakah Teens program, it's a teen philanthropy organization where they write a mission statement. They then raise money as per that mission statement. They then interview charities, and they give money to charities that fit their mission statement. So if you've never interacted with a teen philanthropic organization before, they're really quite amazing because they have to come together as a team to decide what issues they want to focus on. And every year it's a different issue. So thank you to our teens who are involved. No, it's really wonderful. We now turn to page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish. Our thoughts, our hearts turn to those who are no longer on this earth. I begin with our recently departed list. Hilda Greenberg, remembered by the Cecil and Friedman families. Leonard Bell, remembered by the Josephson family. Jack Simony, remembered by the Simony and Schuffman families. Ted Korshak, remembered by the Nyberg and Korshak families. Arnold Feingerst, remembered by the Feingerst family. We also hold in our prayers those taken by gun violence, those who have died of COVID and other diseases, those who have passed due to floods, fires, and other natural and unnatural disasters, and those killed in regional conflicts. We also think about those who died during this season in years past: Sarah Braveman, Arthur Cohen, Philip Garish, Paul Goldberg, Carol Knopf, Ronald Kozloy, Glenda Krugman, James Krugman, Walter A. Marks, Morris Miller, Les Morris, Azra Navi, Samuel Nyberg, Martin Newman, Irit Perchik, Thomas Ronayne, Louis Saleh, Elsie Schachter, Jean Sklar, Eleanor Shapiro, Mo Schenkin, Abe Siegel, William Harry Stern, Ralph Thompson, Jeffrey Ian Weiss, Beth Zerwig, and Bernard Zwick. If you have an additional name for our Kaddish or Yortzeit list, please share it with me now. If you're in the first 7 days of mourning Shiva, I ask you to please rise. If you're in the first month of mourning Shloshim, I ask you to please rise. If you're in the first year of mourning, I ask you to please rise. If you're observing a Yortzeit, please rise. These are the mourners in our midst. We rise to show them our love and our support. We are on page 598. Yitgadal v'yikadash shmei Rabba, b'alma divrach hirutei v'amlech malchutei, b'chayechon v'yimechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agalav v'zman kari v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach leolam u'lamei almaya, Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shmei dekudsha, b'rechu, leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru. Amen. May the one who makes peace on high grant peace to all who mourn, to all Israel, and to all humankind. And together we say, Amen. Put down your books. If you're next to someone you know, put your arms around them. If you do not know them, ask them first if it's okay with them. We're going to do a closing song right now. And then we're going to do a couple more prayers, of course.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה Shalom aleinu, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom b'mromav, Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom b'mromav, Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh aleinu ועל כל ישראל.
More blessings. I need anyone who's visiting from college to come forward, or if you've already graduated college and are here visiting, I'd like you, I know, I see them, I see a bunch of people. Come forward, come on. Over here to hold our Kiddush cups. Come on, Lila, you too. I get my own daughters in town. I know we got some pages, we got some, come on. Yeah. Come forward. Take the tin foil off the Kiddush cup, would you, Lila? Come on. Yes, you guys are visiting too. I agree. I know. Well, you're still, just because you're visiting from Northridge right now, okay? That long trip. They're going to hold up that Kiddush cup nice and high. And let's do a short Kiddush, but don't run away because we're also going to have you guys hold up the challah. Okay, here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
It's grape juice. Take a little sip, Lila, would you? L'chaim. Okay, I'm putting, Lila, this is coming over your head. I want everyone to help hold this. It's very heavy. Everyone put a hand. It's seriously really heavy, guys. Let's all point at this challah and go yummy, yum, yum. Oh, wow, it's so cool. It's sesame on one side and poppy on the other. I've never seen that. Very cool.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon.
And I don't want to be a spoil sport, but we're going to cut this, so don't come and grab it, so we can all have it as part of our dinner. And let's all say, welcome home. And now you can go eat dinner. We got a little music as they walk out.
Ready? Letter B. 1, 2, 3.